తెలుగులో మాట్లాడొచ్చండి. ఎవరైనా ఇంగ్లీష్లో ఉన్నారా? ఇంగ్లీష్, హిందీ. తెలుగులో మాట్లాడొచ్చు కదా? ఓకే. సో అందరికీ ఆత్మీయ ఆహ్వానం. ఈరోజు మన టాపిక్ సెషన్లో పోతాం. సురభి సో ఇంగ్లీష్లో మాట్లాడతాం. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ వన్ అండ్ ఆల్. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ జాయినింగ్ today's session. Apologies, I was a couple of minutes late. I still haven't figured out this technical how to start the YouTube from Zoom and all that. So that's why it always takes a couple of minutes to set up all that. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time and opportunity today. So today, like we spoke about last time, the topic is more on the astral aspects of life. So today we will also do a little bit of interaction because there are two aspects here, right? One is how you understood the life as it stands and what it should actually be from a truth perspective. There are two aspects here. One is the truth as it stands and the way I am living my life. There are two things. So we will try to unpeel those two and then figure what is the right way of living. We always heard from scriptures, heard from masters, heard from our own society that rightful living is the way of living. Rightful living is the way of living. But what is this rightful living all about? Does it mean that I have to be with my body? I have to be with my mind? I have to be beyond those two aspects? I have to use my intelligence? What is this all about? Right? Today, we will explore some options. As a soul, what you bring. As a body and mind, what you are struck. There is a fundamental difference that we all have to understand and get deeper into it. It's not just understanding. Intuitionally, we have to develop the capability. Intuitionally, we have to develop the inner capability to hear to our own voice as to what is my higher self telling me. What is my purpose? Why I am here? What am I here to do? What are the karmic depths I have brought into this life? And how do I look at this life? What happens if I leave my life incomplete? Right? I have 10 karmic depths. I leave with 8. What does it mean? Right? So we'll talk some of those things today to understand a little deeper on the soul journey of the individual. So everybody understands right here that we have had so many sessions that your physical living is only very limited. The astral living, it is because of the physical blueprint is because of your astral existence, right? We all understand that. If my blueprint on the physical layer, which is on the earth, is gonna go the way I am looking at it, it is because that is how I am astrally connected. Whatever my astral source is dealing with is what my physical blueprint is all about. So that is what my life. From the morning I wake up, I go through certain things. At night I sleep, I go through certain things through my mind. And this happens throughout the life, every day, drama, right? Now, when we start to look at life the way it stands, there are two things here, right? We spoke about this aspect of, hey, karma is not a punishment. Karma is a lesson. Karma is teaching. And karma is bringing something into your life. That way you are able to progress to the next phase of your journey, right? We all understand that. So we're not going to spend more time on it. But where we are going to spend time today is trying to unpeel some of these incidents as they unfold in our life. In every one of our lives, we have our own set of good and bad that is perceived by my mind or body, right? We know about doshas, right? Kapha, pitta, vata, all these are bodily doshas. Mala, Vikshepana, Avarana, these are all mind doshas. We spoke about it in the past classes, sessions. Now, where I'm trying to connect the dots is what happens in case of death. What is happening in case of death? Let's start with that and then come down into the reality of day. What do we think? What is death is all about? Can anyone talk about it or say what is that? What is death? No, not take a chance.
Leaving one body and taking up another body.
Leaving one body and taking up another body. Yeah. Well, one way it is, right? So it is not taking up another body as yet. In the physical plane, when what is death means, physically, I am getting disconnected. There is a physical plane, there is non-physical plane. As a soul, I have the authority to be in the non-physical plane. At the same time, we also experience in the physical plane, right? Where is my awareness? My awareness is a non-physical layer, which is the casual, supra-casual, and all those worlds, right? As well as in the physical layer, which is what I am seeing right now. So if I start to connect the dots, what is happening is I am withdrawing myself from the physical layer. Now here's where the catch is. For everyone who is with the body and mind, it is a natural phenomena that we think that death has happened or death has come to me or death is something that is happening to me right now, right? But in fact, the truth about death, if you look at it, the truth aspect of death is you have designed it that way. You have decided to leave the body that way. The physical aspect of your body you are leaving based upon the design that you brought to the plane, right? Physical plane. Now, I'll elaborate a little more on this because this is the most important thing. Because the highest fear on the earth is death. If I'm able to transcend my death, then everything else is a piece of cake, right? I can just, just walk in. So in my physical case, everybody at a body mind level, we think that death came to me. Something I did, accident happened, something, you were supposed to not do it. You had a major illness, something happened. He slept, but then he did not wake up in the morning. Or you may have a major, ongoing, serious, long-term illness that you are stuck to the bed. And then eventually you gave up and then you left the body. What are all these things? Do we see that all these things are happening to us just like that? The environment, the circumstances, the people, the relationships, are these the reason why I am leaving the earth the way I am leaving? How many of us believe in luck? Right? So that is what we are talking. When we start to look at death as a death at a physical layer, the awareness of the individual who is leaving the body from a physical plane still exists. The consciousness exists, the soul exists. It is just that they lost the physical touch on the earthly plane. So what does it mean? The relationships, you will start to see a gap. There will be a lot of, more mourning that happens. There is a lot of, people kind of, take it very seriously that this person is gone. I have a vacuum. I don't have this. I don't have that. What is death teaching us? There are two things that death teaches everyone. If there is a death in a family, there are two things that it is teaching. Number one, the individual soul came to earth and he has decided to leave the body that way. If you look at the soul design, that is how the soul decided to leave the body. There is nothing anybody can do, number one. It is the choice of that individual person who has made a call that by ABCD, with a major accident, or with a long-term illness or with something, I am deciding to leave my body. Number one. Number two, when he leaves his body, he's trying to teach others. He's trying to teach. For some, through mourning, they are able to let go of the relationship. For some, it is about patience. For some, it is about greater understanding of empathy. For some, it is compassion. For some, to build love. Because even though physically you are not on the earthly plane, your body, your astral body, your mental body, they still exist. Whether we know it or we don't know it, that individual who has left the physical plane exists. The more we understand and the more we have experience on this, the higher your state of being when things happen at that level. It is my lack of understanding that I am mourning. I am getting into the attachment that without this X person, I am not able to live anymore because this X person has created a vacuum in my life. In fact, nobody creates vacuum in your life because you and that X person together sat down and designed the life that way. Because there are learnings that you need to get out of it in this life, and there are learnings the other soul who has partnered with you have to learn out of this. There is a combination of those two needs to come together, number one. Number two, when I start to understand this knowledge, what is happening to me? When you start to understand this knowledge, you are no longer in the grief mode. You understand the big picture. This is the truth that we all have to embrace. We all have to accept, and we all have to experience in our lives. Every single thing that we are seeing in this world will have an expiry date, including our own bodies. This is the highest truth. And accepting such a fundamental truth is a major problem in the society. Why is that? It is because of lack of understanding, lack of knowledge. Everybody says death means, oh, it is a bad thing, don't talk about it. Death is a good thing for the soul. Understand, the soul in that body was going through a lot of suffering. It was going through a lot of suffering. Especially if the soul is struck with a physical, issues or any physical disabilities that it is going through, it is going through a lot of pain. And the body has decided, right? Every time a death comes to a particular individual, like for example, we talk about coma, right? People are in unconscious state for a long time. Know this very well. Okay, remember this. When people are struck at the state of death, they have a choice whether they want to come back or they want to leave the body. They have a choice. At that point, they have to make, if somebody is met with an accident, he is going in coma. At that state, he will be given a choice. Do you want to continue your soul design and be in the state, or you want to leave the body and come up and then start over again? It is only with the choice of the soul and the individual, right, where he stands, he will have to make that conscious call. So every time somebody is leaving, they are leaving on their own terms. We are not pushing them. It is not something happened because they are leaving. No, that happening was designed that way. It is meant to happen. They have finished all the lesson on the earthly plane at this time. If I got 10 karmas for this lifetime, I complete those 10 karmas, depths in this lifetime, I will not stay even 1 second on earth. You cannot stay. You will be taken out. You will be taken back. You have to leave. You have to have some form of karma. That is why if you look at grandmasters, they bring some kind of emotion into their life. Some masters are anger, some masters are hungry, some masters are more like, they are weeping, some masters are attached. Why is that? Because without any of that, you cannot stay in the earthly plane. The moment you are done with your karmas, you got to leave the body. That's how it works. So what is happening, whether you know it or you don't know it, when somebody is leaving it, it is as per their own design they are leaving. Number one. Number two, when the body is leaving, they have a choice. Every time we are met with death, there is a choice. The soul can decide to leave through that process, and the soul can decide to stay in that process. Now, the second thing is, what happens when the circumstances don't work for you? That is the reason in the soul design process, you always have multiple options. For example, if X person wants to leave, by a reason, accident, if that doesn't work, then he will say, I want to leave by, something like cancer. Or it doesn't work, someone will say, I want to leave Earth by having some other problem, relationship problem, or I want to go by happily in my sleep. Depending upon their karma, whatever they are incurring, they will have a way exit from the physical plane. We have to understand this, and we have to remember this. Understanding is one aspect, and you remembering and behaving such a way in the physical plane is a whole different thing. Okay, so astrally, if I am connected, what is the good thing that is coming my way is, now I understand the big picture. I no longer mourn, or I no longer weep for the individuals who are leaving the body. It is not because I am holding it back. It is not because that I don't want to cry. I should be mature. I should be old. I should be like, I am this, I am that. It's not like that. It is like naturally you have grown out of that circumstances of death. Death is no longer a pain point for you because you understood the ins and outs of death, what death is all about. You're going to look for his astral body. You're going to sit in meditation and you're going to ask him, please come and sit and do meditation and release yourself from the earthly bound. You don't become an earthbound soul. Please release yourself, go into the higher realms of astral planes and have a beautiful enjoyment, happiness, peace, compassion, love. You kind of release all of that to that individual, the individual soul. And then if soul is connected to you, they will live happily, and then they will have a rebirth plan. Our home, our real home is up there. This is our temporary home, which has an expiry date of ABC. Whatever that expiry date, we don't know yet. If you are intuitionally connected, you will know that. That is why some masters, they know with what type of, death is going to come to them. They're going to say 3 days from now, I'm going to leave my body by so and so time. How do they know? It is all part of the soul design. How can they tell that somebody is going to leave based on their energy patterns, astral connections? So the purpose of meditation, granted that realization is not going to come through this. Realization is a far away game that you have to go into the void and and then the greater aspects of void, etc. But what is going to come to you is you will have no physical pain, absolutely no emotional pain that you go through, psychological pain that we typically go through on an event like this. That is what we will learn out of this. So it is absolutely essential that we understand, we spend time about death, what death is all about, how death is happening, who has designed this death, and what does it mean to the family, what does it mean to the relationship, what does it mean to the soul itself. There are so many examples, right? Near-death experiences that you see. There are a lot of books about near-death experiences. You should read some of those books. You'll understand what we are referring here today, right? If I am astrally connected, you will have a greater understanding about your own death. You will also have a greater understanding about others' death. Some talk about, hey, I have got this dream where somebody, is going to leave the body. How do they came to know? It's because their energy is astrally connected, and in the astral plane, that information was shared between the parties, whether this time or a previous time or before birth and all that. That is why through channeling, through mediums, you will be able to find out a lot of these details. The astral masters out there will help you to understand and unpeel the surprises that you bring to the earth when you go through a certain karma and all that. Now, coming to the lessons of the life. How do I look at my lessons in my life? The number one way of looking at it is, I have a problem. We start life as, I have a problem. I have a situation. I want to deal with it. I am going through certain ABC. My life is XYZ. Can anyone talk about it? What does problem in life mean? Anyone would like to say? What does problem in life mean? Anyone?
Suffering.
Suffering, okay.
Relationships or pain caused by relationships.
Pain caused by relationship, absolutely. What else?
Going through the karma.
Going through the karma, yes, absolutely. What else?
Sometimes the decision which we take is not correct.
Okay. What? See, there is a fundamental rudimentary thing, that is the negativity. The reason why I am saying this as a problem to me is because all these four things that each of you stated is because of that negativity, right? It is the negative energy that has come into my life, which is creating some pain. And that is the reason I'm seeing this pain as a problem. Otherwise, I wouldn't say problem. Why am I even looking at this as a problem when we know that that is a learning? That I know that I brought this learning for myself. And the reason I brought this for myself is for my own growth. Where is that understanding? Where did it go? So it is absolutely essential, as much as we embrace the aspect of I'm doing meditation, I'm trying to seek, guidance and all that, you have to have this greater understanding. All of us, you got to have the greater understanding that anything, whether it is negative or positive, we have to be in a balanced state. So if I am looking at something negative, a pain, as a problem, then you have a real problem. Because you don't understand the big picture. You don't understand the life as it stands with truth. You have to be educated. You have to go through that, right? This is the reason why most of us have suffering in our life. This is the reason why we say we create our own reality. What does it mean? I create my own reality. When something painful happens in my life, I look at that pain as a problem. When I perceive this as a negative energy to begin with, I create more of it because I'm going to spend more time thinking through it. This is my nature. This is mind's nature. What is mind? Mind is sankalpa, vikalpa, sanghataha. Sankalpa, vikalpa. Positive and negative combination. You say positive, it will say negative. You say negative, it will say positive. Sanghataha, confusion. That is mind. So what is my mind doing? Immediately when something painful is coming my way, because I have not educated, I do not understand, my intelligence is not developed to an extent that it can differentiate between lesson versus punishment. I don't have the intelligence to say, this is not punishment, this is a lesson. All I understand is because my mind will only perceive things as they come to me. If my intelligence is not educated enough, it is going to let pass, and my mind will think that this pain, I want to avoid it. What are you be doing? We are either trying to, what happens when we have problems in life? Anyone? I want to make it more interactive. That way we are all connected and thinking about it, right? I mean, just put some thought to it. You'll get some good insights. Anyone? Go ahead, Srini. Saying something?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
The problem, whatever the problem, right? Oh, I lost the thought as well. What was the question I asked? I lost the thought as well. But you know, the thought, the problem itself, right? Why is that problem coming my way?
The problem is coming my way, sir, because we have designed for our learning. So if my relationship with a certain person is not there, right, that means I wanted that person to teach me something. So everything is in a circle, and we have to meet that person in this lifetime again in a righter place. In fact, my relationship with one of my family members was at a point whenever she would visit America, I would go to the doctor and say, hey, the Svenso is coming, can I have anxiety pills? And now our relationship is on a different platform because the part where my learning was attached to her is over, and now we are bonding. So it's all my learning that's why my relationship with that person was very sour.
Good. So exactly, right? Now let's talk about this, right? When I see a problem, right? Now I got the question now, right? When I see the problem, what do we do? That's the question. That was the question. When I have problem, what do I do?
I curse God. I curse myself, like, why me? We find all the negative scenarios in our lives, like, why am I in and then sometimes people start comparing, like, why I'm in such a bad situation and my friend or my relative are in a good situation. It could be economically, financially, or relationships. Let's say my husband's relationship or money, and sometimes the jealousy of your relatives will come. But or we say, mere karam kharab the. We start cursing our karmas basically. So we curse everybody and anybody in that situation basically.
Exactly. It's like you are trying to either fight it, right? Or you're gonna avoid it, flight or fight, right? That is the first thing that I'm gonna get, or every one of us are gonna think, right? This is the reason why understanding truth is very, 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 very important. If we don't understand the truth, then the life that we are leading is purely mechanical. There is absolutely no learning in the life. Whether it is good or bad, your soul is learning, period. It doesn't differentiate between good or bad. The good or bad is only differentiated between your body mind phenomena. There is no good or bad for soul. Soul is only on looking at learning. So now, what am I trying to do? Either I'm trying to fight that problem because I classified it as a problem. Why? Because my mind is accepting that this is pain. It is negative. Why is my mind accepting this as negative and pain? It's because I don't have enough intelligence to differentiate what is what, or have higher education, as to how these things work. So ultimately, it is because of lack of understanding of truth. What I am perceiving today is whatever is coming my way is a problem. The moment my mind starts to see this as a problem, two things will happen immediately. It will either avoid it or it will either fight it. In both cases, we lose. What does truth talks about? Exact opposite. Don't avoid it. Accept it. Don't fight it. Embrace it. You have to embrace that problem. You have to accept that it is you who brought this to yourself. Whether it is past life karmas or previous 100 lives back or 10 lives back or 1 life back, or even in this life, some karmas happen in this life itself, like hunger, right? That karma starts 2 days back, and then 2 days later you get to eat. You solve your karma there, instant karma. Like that, it is because of that I am bringing this into myself and I am trying to educate out of it. There is always this greater learning that soul wants to go through it. The only way the learning happens is when you are brought into that situation. Everything what we are seeing here, the circumstances are built such a way that there is a learning happening to every individual who is involved in that circumstances. If in a relationship you are stuck, you are going through this, then the relationship, both the parties are learning together. There is one type of learning for one X soul, and there is the other type of learning for the Y soul for the same situation, because you see it from two different perspectives. If the person is bedridden, he's going through he's trying to learn the way to live the life with the expression of love, with the expression of compassion and all that. The other person who is serving that person is living the life to understand empathy, to be patient. They are learning. Both of them are learning at the same time. Both souls are learning. For one incident, both souls are learning. So when we start to look at this as a problem, we actually are avoiding, postponing the karmic balance. When I start to look at it from a truth, what I will do, I will embrace this as yes, bring it on. I am ready for this experience. What happens? You will transcend in a very fastest way. You can transcend a karma in a, Ramta talks about it, right? He says you can create so many realities in a fraction of a second. That is the power of your mind, right? When you have such a power, why am I not able to get out of this? Why am I fixated in these worldly affairs? Why am I fixated that this is where I belong? So when we start to understand this truth, again, I'm bringing this topic of truth here, right? It is the truth that will shake up your beliefs, that will shake up your understanding and make you stand in reality. You create your own reality comes from the truth. Only when you understand the truth and live by that principle. Understanding truth alone is not going to let you make things happen for you. You got to live by that standard. How do we live by that standard? No matter what is happening in our life, we have to understand that this is something I brought it to myself. There is a learning. Find out what is the learning that this particular situation is asking for you to do. Something broke in your life. Why is that it broke? What is the learning? Find that out. Work for learning. Look into that learning. Intuitionally connect to your astral plane. Connect to your higher self and ask. Raise a question as to why am I going through this? How do I come out of this suffering? What knowledge do I need? Then you will be given all that what you need. Right now, we don't embrace any of that. All we look at is either flight or fight. Flight means avoiding. Fight means I'm gonna resist. So this is the reason going to a doctor is not going to solve your problem. Going to a doctor, he can help you physically, but he won't be able to help you astrally, mentally. He can temporarily fix the problem, but he cannot provide a permanent cure to the problem or the perceived problem. My mind is perceived as a problem. The only way you can come out of this is when you have that greater understanding. For that to happen is where we need to have a very good 360-degree view, living standards on the truth, the principles of truth. Live the standards of truth, then we will never have to suffer. That is the reason, right? If you are embodiment of truth, enlightened, no suffering. You will have peace. You will have happiness. How does it come? With this greater understanding, with the big picture. When I see the life as it stands, it's because of my own design. I am actually playing a role in this life. I don't have anything to do with the life. I don't see the body as a body. I see a body as a soul. When do you get that understanding is when you start to embrace that kind of knowledge. Raise your vibrations into the astral planes, then you will not physically suffer. We talk about, God is everywhere. God is the one who is making it happen. Everybody says there is a supreme power that is governing this entire universe. That power is what is keeping me, every one of us alive and all that. But all we have to understand is a very simple thing, that supreme power is nowhere. It is within you. God dwells in you as you. When do we start to realize that? That is the truth. So if I'm saying that I am the God, then why am I even looking at a problem as a problem? Why am I not taking it as a lesson, or it's something that I'm getting educated and all that? The reason for that is I continuously refuse to believe. It is my mind that is making this drama go through in a way that it never wants to accept. All it looks at is the physical aspect of it. If you are looking at 100% in your body, how much of the physical aspect we are looking at? 10%? Maybe? At the most. The remaining 90% or 95% for that matter is happening elsewhere. There is only 10% of physical reality, because the matter is a result of the light, right? The energy is what transmitting or converting into a matter. It is the energy that is a source. If I am able to twist that energy, I can create whatever I want. I'm not able to do so today because I don't understand, or I don't want to understand. I don't have time to understand, right? Because I'm so busy with my physical life. So this is the reason without meditation, it is impossible. It is not possible. It is going to be a lot of effort trying to understand this big picture. Only in meditation, when you go deeper, you will start to realize this truth, that life is not about coming and going. Life is all about learning. There is something called soul that is looking every second to learn. Every moment your soul wants to learn. Even in your death, your soul is learning. If I am able to stand with that knowledge, with that thinking, or with that, ability, kind of pulling myself into that state, and then I'm being in that state as soul, what is happening is all my karmas, all my baggage, whatever I am struck with my previous life, you're evaporating it. You're evaporating all that karmic balance. And slowly you come into the higher state and higher reality, where you start to see the life in a much profound way, a beautiful way. This life is a good teacher. It's the best teacher. The life that you are leading today is your best teacher. There is no one else who can teach you your life. But I'm not seeing it that way. All we see is wars. All we see is physically, territorial countries are fighting like animals, like animals are fighting each other for food, like the way territorial countries are fighting for power, all trouble what we see around us. You have wealthy persons, chasing for money. You have poorest of the poor living in poverty with no food, nothing. All we see is all these material differences in a physical plane, which when you connect to the source, you only see the light. You only see that beautiful, that plane where you actually are looking at truth as it stands. As it stands. I don't want to embrace the truth the way it is being told to me. I want to experience the truth as it stands. That is my state. That is where we want to be. So it is only through meditation you are able to get to that state. That is why every day, every night, every morning, we have to meditate. Without meditation, it is not possible. Your prayers will take you so far, but only in meditation you're able to connect to those planes which are hidden, deeply hidden in your own source. And the second one, which is also an important aspect, we spoke about death earlier, right? How am I looking at death and all that? Now, between this and my life, if for any reason, right, this is why Patriji also talks, if there is any type of suffering, if there is any type of fear in your life, then you are not enlightened. What does it mean, though? Anyone?
If there is no suffering, that means you did not come to earth to learn nothing. The suffering is a way of learning and preparing yourself and making your karmas balanced, basically.
Okay, that's a good perspective. What else? Any other?
It is the pain which the human undergoes.
Okay. So where we have to start to look at this is, I don't look at is even suffering is coming to you, you do not suffer. That's the state we want to be. Suffering is for my body. Suffering is for my mind. I have nothing to do with it. Isn't it the truth? Who is the one that is suffering? It is the body that is suffering. I am not the body. Why should I suffer? Let the body suffer for its action in the past lives. I am just a witness. You are just witnessing that the body is going through. This is the highest truth. Right? That's why it takes a lot of understanding, a lot of deeper thinking, and absolutely you have to practice meditation, right, for this level of knowledge to come and kind of digest for us. You have to start to look at it. When I'm saying that, hey, when Patriji talks about, hey, if you do not have any type of suffering, if you do not have any fear, then you are enlightened. How is that possible? Means I fully understand that I am not a physical entity. I am soul by all stands. And I am living that way. Then what happens? Any karmic activity that is happening, you are not taking this into your own soul. You are saying that it is happening to my body. It is happening to my mind. You have the awareness and you become a witness to the life as it stands. So there is no good, there is no bad. This is the state of an enlightened soul. It is the highest state on the earth. That's why they pass from earthly plane and they do not come back onto the earthly plane. They go to the different plane, but they don't come back to the earthly plane. In a 360-degree view, I need to be able to not look at anything as suffering, anything as fear. No matter what is happening in my life, fear should be totally gone. Suffering should be totally gone. How is this possible, though? Is it even possible? It is possible if you embrace truth. If you become the embodiment of truth, it is possible. Through the greater understanding of truth and practicing those principles through meditation, you will be able to stand in that reality. That is the ultimate reality we all want to be. At which point, whatever may be my body is going through, whatever may be my soul, my mind is going through, I am just a witness to it. Isn't this what Ramana Maharshi talked about? Enlightened state. How do you get enlightened? Is If your body is suffering, let it suffer. It thinks that it is suffering, let it think to be suffering. You don't have to be part of it. You don't have to mix yourself in the suffering. There are two things here. One is either you become the witness to the activity that your body and mind are going through, good, bad, ugly, or you come to the greater understanding at the moment where you are not seeing any suffering at all. You only look at life as God's gift. Both will lead you to only one, enlightenment. Both are one and same. Either you can be in the absolute divine oneness, or you can be in the living standards of duality and become one as it stands. Choice is ours. We can make that call. So if our bodies are living, the physical body is living, I still have my astral body, I still have my mental body. What am I worried about? My physical work has completed, I am leaving. That's it. So should be the understanding of the entire family. Again, it all depends upon the maturity of the individuals and understanding of truth. If I don't have the truth in my life, I am always in this phobia, illusion. That's what we call, right? Illusion of physical reality. Is this happening? It is not happening. Why it is not happening? Because it's illusion. When I wake up from this illusion, from this dream of old, I am in that reality. That can only happen through your deeper state of meditation, my dear friends. It is absolutely essential that we embrace meditation and have this greater understanding that life is not that simple. Life, anything and everything to the smallest particle or the movement that is happening in your life has been designed by you. Especially if somebody who is your enemy, somebody who is your closest buddy, they both are equally cooperating. One person is teaching how to be patient, how to have relationship, how to work, with love, compassion. And other person is coming and helping you so that they can stand next to you. They can provide all the support what they can provide so that you are able to come out of that situation. Both of them are helping you. So embrace your enemy, embrace your friend. This is what Mahatma Gandhi says, right? If you slap me on my left, I'll show my right. So when you bring truth into our lives, when we embrace truth, when we say that I want to live with this standard of truth, right? What is going to happen is your consciousness, your awareness, your knowledge, everything starts to expand. It will automatically happen. You don't have to do anything. It will automatically, you will start to grow into the next levels. You will start to see so many things coming your way. You will start to see the shift happening in life. You will start to see the painful things that you went through in the past. You no longer feel that pain anymore. The pain is gone from your system. All the chakras are getting aligned on its own. All the energy centers are releasing the blocks. The truth is such a powerful thing. All I have to do is I have to embrace the truth, spend time with the truth. You have to spend more and more time having the deeper understanding. In every aspect, I want to understand truth. The 360-degree view. Right now, if I am looking at my life, do I have the big picture? Anyone? If any of you are looking at your life right now, do you have the big picture? Anyone? It is a no. You don't have the big picture. How does the big picture come? Big picture comes from your lifetimes. If I am looking at this life as it stands right now, it is like you looking through a keyhole into a room and judging everything. That's why judgment or looking at things as they stand is a problem. The difference between Krishna and Arjuna is that Arjuna look at this lifetime And he started to compare and contrast, and then he wants to change things as per his understanding. And Krishna, on the other hand, understands lifetimes, why he is in this situation, what brought him. We both, he says, right? We both have taken so many lives. I remember every aspect of it, while you don't remember other than this life. If you have that big picture, you can intervene in others' lives. You can judge others. You can go help them. You can do whatever. But please, let us not interfere in others' affairs. Why is that situation came to that individual? You cannot judge. You cannot comprehend from this life alone. You have to go back. If you really look at it, 99% of this life depends on your previous life. 1% comes from this life, or you bring it from some other lives, right? 99%. The majority of this life is because of your previous life. Remember this. So unless I understand your previous life and connect the dots, I will not be able to look at you or judge you or interfere in your life. This is the reason when you interfere in others' affair, you incur karma. Because you don't have the greater understanding. That's not truth, right? Truth is, let everybody go through their own thing, what they brought. Everybody is same. It is just that if somebody is killing somebody, both have God within them, right? The other person, the one who is killing the other person, the killer, the God is sleeping. He just doesn't realize yet. That doesn't mean that the God is not there. God is still there. The greater power, the supreme power, whatever we call, right? It's still there. The consciousness, it is just sleeping. So the more we try to embrace this knowledge and go deeper into this, we will start to see the life is such a beautiful thing. You'll start to really enjoy life. You'll start to really embrace that every moment I want things come my way. Doesn't matter. There is no more duality. There is no more mind fixating things. There is no more my mind making comments, right? This is good, this is bad, this is ugly, I want this, I don't want this. All that mindly drama is going to get away. And you will start to feel the peace within you. The moment your mind calms down, you will start to feel the peace. With peace, with long-term peace, comes happiness in our lives. Hence, truth gives you peace, happiness, no suffering. So, my dear friends, as we start to embrace the truth, we have to also connect through meditation. It is very important that we connect through meditation. If I am not embracing meditation, then there is no learning. There is no learning. So, as and when I start to understand depth, I start to understand the life, I will be very much connected with my soul. The depth is no longer a hurdle for me. Life, the situations that are happening in my life are no longer hurdles for me. Everything is a lesson. As I complete my physical lessons, I'm kind of graduating from the school of earth. Then I leave. I may come back again, but that year is gone. That life is gone. So with this greater understanding, and also please, we have to understand that without meditation, this deeper knowledge is not going to sink in for us. We have to do meditation. We have to do deeper meditations to get more insights into the truth. So we'll stop here. Any questions? Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Sorry, masters, I have to take the call. But so this is the understanding that we want to get in, right? So, and the more and more we embrace this level of higher knowledge, the greater the concept, the greater the beauty, the peace, the happiness, everything will come into our lives. It is just that one thinking, right? The thought that you are bringing in can lead you to the depths of hell, or it can lead you into the heavens of the godly kingdom. So the more and more we start to embrace it, the more and more we tend to move from our own state, from where we are to where we need to be. Because what we are trying to get at, we are already that. We have to understand this principle very, very clearly. There should not be any ambiguity or confusion that I am trying to embrace the truth and I want to become that. No, you are already that, what you are looking for. You just have to realize it. You just have to bring that awareness and consciously be there all the time. Shift your consciousness from your body, mind to soul, then everything will come in line. Any questions? Was it too much on the ask of it? You understand, right? Hopefully.
So what is the go ahead, Asha. No, go ahead, Srinivas.
Okay. So, what about our wish or desire which we have in this life? I mean, the pain and sufferings, I understood that we have chosen that. But what about the wish or desire? That also we have chosen it, or
Yes, because
okay.
the wish or the thought. See, there are two things, right? One is you design your life, and during that time and that age, in that moment, that whatever you design is coming your way as a thought. Okay, or you're using your free will and you're saying that spontaneously I'm changing things around. Both are possible. That's why in every life you have the opportunity to get enlightened. That is your free will. You have to execute your free will to say that I am God, I'm going to live by that rules. And then you get enlightened, you're done. You don't need 100 lifetimes to get enlightened. The more maturity you gather in one particular lifetime, and you start to understand that this is what it is, then you get enlightened. So destiny, free will, both are there for human beings, especially because of we are the greater intelligent people. You have the intelligence. If your intelligence is powerful enough, you can execute your free will and then say that I'm going to shift it. Something that is coming to you karmically, you will be able to shift it, or you will be able to postpone it, or you will be able to prepone it. It is your free will that has more power than your destiny. And the only way you execute your free will is when you have that intelligence. Your intuitional capability should be pretty high.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no. Go ahead, ma'am.
So if you're a beginner in this path, how can your consciousness can shift into this, Sandy?
See, there are two things, madam. When you say beginner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you beginner in meditation, or are you beginner in understanding the knowledge of truth?
Beginner in meditation.
So when you are beginner in meditation, you will slowly start to see shift happening from your physical layer to the astral layer, right? The conscious shift will happen, right? What you will start to see is you'll start to feel the peace. When you are doing meditation, you're feeling that blissful state. You're experiencing some visions. You're experiencing some kind of, astral activity within you. You're actually enjoying it, right? And then after coming out of meditation, you're feeling that, hey, my life is peaceful, Some of these things is what you see as you start to get into meditation. Okay, over the period of time, after you have done meditation for some time, what is going to happen is you'll slowly start to get out of these experiences and start to get closer to the void, the state of void, from where the beginning, right, the entire universe has begun. Right? You start to go into that state of void, which is much more peaceful and gives you happiness and all that. It needs the constant practice. That's why consistency is key to success, right? Meditation, especially, it's very true. Every day you have to do that. You have to bring your mind from 1,000 steps to 0. You have to do that. It cannot come overnight. It won't come in a 1 week. It won't come in 40 days or so. You got to keep doing it. As you keep doing it, the power of mind has to come down. The power of heart has to rise. We are becoming more from a mind person to a heart person. As a meditator, when you have become a deep meditator, you will be in the heart level. There is no mind at that point. Mind is there, but mind has no power to control anything on you, because your intelligence will hold your mind to say that you don't have enough knowledge. Hold on. Let my intuition give me what I need to do. So this is the heart versus mind versus heart. Your thought goes from mind to heart. Your capabilities go from heart to mind. Intuitional capabilities are coming from heart to mind. The journey is heart to mind. And the other way, meditation is mind to heart.
Gotcha.
So there is no shortcut, madam, right? In spirituality, there is no shortcut. There is nothing like somebody came and blessed me, somebody gave me this and all that. You have earned every right to get what you are getting. Without you earning it, whether you know it or in your past lives it happened for you, you get that only when you have earned it. It may seem like, some guru touched me, I'm able to get into that. But the fact that the guru touched you is because you have done a lot of work in your past lives. And you have attained a state where he wants to just release you.
So you think the transformation for any person can come from the suffering or through the karmic, whatever the karmic lessons they have brought in with them? Or do you think it might come from, any other pains or however the transformation can be done to them, coming into this path?
So first off, right, transformation means there is a shift of energy.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Shift of energy from what you believe versus what happened, right? You are come back to the happening aspect of it, and you have a learning out of that. Every soul, when it comes to earth, it has plans. It creates a plan. This is my design of my life. This is how I'm going to go through. At the age of 40, I need this. At the age of 50, I need to be spiritual. At the age of 70, I got to be at this. You plan it. And then eventually you say that at so-and-so age, I want to exit. In every aspect, whether it is good, bad, or ugliest of the ugliest thing, the soul is always learning. Soul is always learning. The question is whether you are learning through that karmic or you are learning in a different way. So when there is a learning, there is a situation that came to you, you may be looking at the situation as a negative thing, then your soul is nulling the negative aspect of it. But your karma is supposed to be on the positive side of it. So what happened? You did not learn from a karmic cycle of it. So what is going to happen? That very thing is going to come back a couple of years later or in your next lifetime with little bit of more intensity, making sure that there is karmic learning that is happening to you. So that is the reason, right? Soul will always learn. Whether you bring that karma, you're supposed to get hurt. And through that hurt, you're supposed to, like leg pain, right? I was saying this example last week, right? Last 2 weeks back as well. You're getting a leg pain, severe leg pain. Now, the learning that you are supposed to get out of this is you got to respect your legs. You got to take care of your legs. Your legs are there for a purpose. You cannot overuse them, right? There is a learning. But what you did, you took a medicine, you suppressed it. The soul learned about it. What did it learn about it? Hey, you suppress it. You are able to do this. Medicines have come. You have used the medicines. You're able to do this. You spoke to 10 other people, right? All that your soul was witnessing, it is learning. But your karma has not transitioned, right? Transferred. Your karma, you did not transition the karma because there is a specific thing that you brought this in your life that you have to understand that your legs are very important. Until you understand that, you will keep coming. That will keep happening.
So karma is different than the suffering. So like Raman Maharshi says, you have to suffer. The body has to suffer.
See, what Ramana talks about is the body is it is the state of awareness. He is in the state of soul awareness. When I am soul aware, I don't have anything happening at my body mind level, right? I am beyond that. I am witnessing my body and mind as it stands. Like the way I'm witnessing a cup of coffee here, right? Like the way I'm seeing my body as well. At that state, his statement is true. He's true. But are you at that state? Or am I at that state? Are we at that state? Is the question. I'm soul conscious. That even whatever is happening to my body, right? I'm not reacting. I'm saying it's fine. I don't, right? You don't. So there is that altered state of reality. The reality is you are taking a journey from your body, mind, intelligence into soul. That journey is happening for us. But for him, he already attained that state. So that's why he's able to witness his own body changes.
Gotcha.
Good question. Any other questions, masters? So in conclusion, right, truth is the way of living, number one. Number two, everything and anything that is happening in our lives, positive, negative, good, bad, ugly, are the ones that we brought as per the design, as per our soul design. Number three, if for any reason, anywhere we are seeing a problem, if I'm saying it's a problem, then it is lack of my intelligence. And never judge or interfere or comment on anyone's life without having that big picture. So these are the ones for today. Okay. Asha ji, please go ahead, ma'am.
Sir, when we experience the suffering or pain, how do we identify that, like example, you were telling about the leg pain. How do we know this is for my spiritual growth? This is for my transformation. And my second question is, so in the journey of the transformation or in the spiritual growth, how do we really identify we are moving ahead? In the beginning, it is kind of confusing, right?
So what happens, madam, is the number one thing is anything that has come to you in your life is something that you brought in. This is the knowledge, right? Number one. Okay. This understanding is fundamental to everything that you go through in this life. Whatever is happening to you, it is good or bad, it is because of you brought it. If you have done something good for others, then something good will come to you. If somebody is coming and hitting you, we should understand that we hit them in the past. That is what the law of karma talks about, right? This entire universe is governed by one powerful law of karma. No one, even the God, when he incarnates on earth, he has to go through this law of karma. Nobody is exception. This is the understanding, number one, right? We have to have the knowledge and we have to have the courage to be able to stand in that moment to say that I am not fighting this, nor I am avoiding this. I am accepting this. Because only through acceptance, you will start to transition it. You will start to live. You'll start to grow out of it. Otherwise, what happens? It becomes a karmic bondage. The more you avoid it, the more you fight it, it creates, the intensity will start to go up. It may temporarily relieve you. That's what I was saying. When doctor gives you a medicine, he's going to suppress the cells within that pain process, right? Whatever happening in the physical layer. And then you'll start to feel comfortable. You go walk and all that. And then 6 months later or 1 year later, you'll have the same problem again. So how do I relieve out of any kind of a pain? Is by having that greater understanding, number one. Number two, how do I stand in that state? By having the understandable energies that I build over a period of time. And this is where meditation is coming. You have to have the frequency, you have to have the vibrations to be able to stand in that situation, so that you are in charge of the situation, not the situation. Right? If, like, in every one of our lives, we go through, let's suppose, 1 million situations. If one situation is taking over me, what happens to the 999? Am I those situations, or these situations are happening to me? How do I look at it? If my leg pain is becoming a pain in neck, right, and my mind is only fixated on my solving my leg pain, and my day and night, like next 1 month or 2 months, I'm going to spend on it, is it wise? It is not. So having this greater understanding is fundamental. That is why truth, we have to start to look at the truth. What is truth? It gives you the soul perspective of everything that you are bringing to this life. Whether that is a good thing that is happening to you, whether that is a bad thing that is happening to you, whether it is the ugliest thing that is happening. So any pain that you are getting in this life, it's because of you brought that pain yourself. Any good that is happening is because of you have done good to the universe. That is the law of karma. So the second question is, how do you overcome that, right? How do you overcome that? Is by knowledge, by having that stand. You have to stand with the truth to say that I brought this, I accept it, I want to ask for forgiveness. If I have knowingly or unknowingly did something, I wanted to forgive. Then slowly the karma will transcend. Only through knowledge you can transcend karma. Otherwise, you have to go through karma again and again, again and again, again and again. Only thing difference is the intensity is going to keep going up. Good, madam? Did you answer?
Yes, yes, sir. But in that the moment of karma and transformation, there can be instances where I might take a drastic decision to commit suicide or something, right? In
Yes.
that moment of leg pain, I'm not able to bear it, and I
Yes.
have family pressure to have a surgery. I don't want to listen to the family, and then I can, I feel like, okay, I've been going through this for 10 years. I'd rather end my life. So, and is that ending my life, the decision that is made by my free will, is it from the karmic intensity that I have created, or this is my free will decision,
Free will.
and then free will, and but when after making that decision, if I go, my astral body will realize, why did I make this? But then it will be too late. Then but when I'm reborn, I won't remember that.
You will.
So
I mean, there are two things, right?
yeah,
The question what you asked is, in that very moment, it is, number one, it is lack of knowledge, right? Your intelligence is not powerful enough. The intuitional capabilities have not expanded beyond the horizon, and hence you are acting based on your mind. Mind is
All,
telling that this pain is in.
also, yeah, my sorry, sir, to interrupt you, but totally the pain has conquered everything, right? Each and
Yeah.
every atom,
Yeah.
and so based on that pain, every action is being, calculated by my mind because it is intolerable. So then the pain is driving these actions.
Correct. But it
So
is your
can
pain. You brought the
okay,
pain, right? See, the
okay,
choice, there is a choice at that point, right? When pain is hitting you, you're saying that I cannot take this pain anymore and leave my body. Why do we do that? Because I don't understand why the pain has come to me to begin with, right? I don't have the understanding. All I am struck is the phobia that this pain is uncontrollable and I want to get out. This happens because we don't have, my intelligent layer, right, is not matured enough to understand the greater learning. If in that very reason you understand that this pain has been brought by me, right, or you are able to even imagine for a second that this pain, whatever I'm going through, I might have given this to someone else in a past life, then your perspective will change, right? You no longer look the pain as pain, you look at it as, yes, I may have given this suffering to someone, that's why I'm suffering it. So I have to hold, I have to learn from it. So I'm going to ask for forgiveness. I'm going to look for ways to get out of it, not avoid it, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, sir. So, okay, in that moment of pain, I have an extreme faith, and maybe I get saved, even when I, whatever, try to commit suicide or do something, I get saved. And so many people say this, a miraculous moment, thing happened. I was in fourth stage of cancer, something happened. So, is this also the karma that punya that carried that at the time of death I get saved, or God interferes? Some people pray and they say I got saved, and the faith grows right beyond, because they are saved from death. So
Yeah.
is this God interfering? Is this my karma interfering, or is it a combination of all the faith and karma?
See,
And I got another chance.
When you start to pray to the God, right, it is the choice that you made at that moment, that you chose that vehicle of God to release this karma. That's a choice that you made. Okay. Karma will only release when you have that greater understanding, the knowledge. Only through knowledge your karma is getting away, right? You get away out of you don't outgrow of it, right? That is the root of law of karma. Anything else that you are trying to do is all you are bringing it by your free will. If somebody else has powers or somebody else can heal you, you at that moment go to him and say, hey, please heal me. And if that individual doesn't know the law of karma or understand the greater thing, they're going to start to heal you. So what they're doing, they are giving their energies to you. That is exactly what God is, right? You are feeling that God is giving you the energy. Isn't it what's happening there? That's what is happening there. So your faith in God is what is giving you the energies, and you started to feel. It is not the God who is actually healing you. It is your mind that's stuck in that object of God. Okay. In that object of God, you started to feel. That feeling is what is creating those energies within you. Because all diseases are psychosomatic, right? They start in the mind, astral plane. In the astral plane, you started to believe that God is healing you. That belief that you brought into the system, whoever may be the source there, it can be a God, it can be a master, it can be a healer, it can be anybody. Because of that astral thing, that feeling is generating, slowly your karma is getting descended. But until you get that knowledge, it will continue to haunt you. Remember this. No other person can heal you. It is only temporary. Anyone in this world, including God, can only heal you temporarily. You want a permanent get out of it, you have to have the knowledge. You have to learn.
So the knowledge itself is a healer.
Knowledge is must. Without knowledge, you will not get out of karma.
Oh, okay.
Gnanagni karma dagdana. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Good question, man. Good question. All right. Masters, it's about 10 or 10 now. So let's sit for about 45 minutes or so on meditation. Please sit very comfortably in your best postures. Let us become one with our breath. Such a beautiful breath. Let us connect to the realm of truth. Let us become aware that we are soul consciousness. Slowly and steadily bring your attention to your normal, natural, soft, tender, tranquil breath. As you start to observe your breath, have the wonderful feeling that you're going to have a great time. We are what our thoughts bring to us. My thought is my life. Let us go beyond the state of thought. Let us go to the source of the thought. Where is the thought coming from? Let us surrender to the divine oneness, the oneness that connects every one of us, everything in this universe, the energy that transmutes everywhere. Let us become that omnipresent. We are the divine. We are the unlimited supreme power. Like Jesus said, know the Father. Father is within you. Know thyself. We are united with our supreme soul. Bring that love, bring that happiness. Let the divine light give you that state of being. Be with your breath, my dear masters. Be with your breath. Be with your breath. Be with your breath. Last 1 minute, masters. Last 1 minute. Last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Please slowly take your hands and put on your eyes, and gently, whenever you're ready, slowly open your eyes and look at your palms. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, masters. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. Let us all thank the masters, universe, and the energies we received today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. At this time, anyone would like to share experience or any questions, please go ahead. No questions, then we'll call it a night. We'll end the session here. We'll see you all tomorrow in the next week for the topic, yet another topic. Have a wonderful evening. Take care.